So the media is already using excuses for Star Wars, though. Rise of Skywalker. Okay, there's two articles here I'll be going over. So here we go. Box office Star Wars, though. Rise of Skywalker. Very mad to Disney. It's by Scott Mendelson, the guy who hates Read About Angel. We all know he doesn't like Read About Angel. I'm not a fan. You can't just lie to everybody and say you're a fan of something, but you constantly criticize it with the rest of the mainstream media, with the rest of the critics. And of course, people still try to tell me, the top 10, critics actually like the reader, okay? You're unreasonable, You're unreasonable. But, most of the mainstream media and most of the critics hate Read About Angel. Of course, a lot of non-mainstream critics came in and gave Read About Angel good scores, which did raise up the scores, but the original score was around 55% Rotten score on Poopy Tomatoes. Okay, and according to the top critics of course, the mainstream media, it's considered even worse than Charlie's Angels, according to the mainstream media, which is the top critics. Okay, so the Rise of Skywalker barely matters to the mouse or Disney. So of course, here in the article they talk about if Star Wars even is a big hit, you know, Disney's 2020 slate has free animated with Download and Soul with Where and the Lost Dragon. I don't think Disney's gonna have a massive year next year like this year. Okay, they have Disney of course probably will still have a decent year, but not gonna be as I'm not saying it's not gonna be as big as next year. Probably have like $2 or $3 billion grosses because from the MCU, probably what Disney will drop to around half next year. Where come close to people of likely hit movies, 2020 releases to do to above on other gold standards businesses. I think that go here what bigger competition will be, God for Disney and blah blah blah. But they're already using excuses for Star Wars. That you a franchise that used to be one of the biggest franchise on earth, it has been overtaken by Pokemon. As the biggest franchise, Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse had been bigger before Star Wars came out. I've been pretty huge before Disney came out. Disney Princesses, which has been it started getting more popular. Of course, Marvel has overtaken Star Wars in total movie gross, but it's really quality over quantity, really, if you want to go there, because it's like saying that movie makes more money doesn't mean it's good better. So they're always using excuses for Star Wars, and here's another one by CNN. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker takes place after the rise of Star Wars trolls. Yeah, anyone who doesn't like the last that according to CNN. Okay, CNN, you're a public figure, so I don't care. CNN, you know, Star Wars is always enjoyed strong by the fans, It's same thing with Pokemon Sword and Shield. There's a lot of people calling me a troll for not liking the game, okay? Same thing with Star Wars, okay? Star Wars is, of course, you know, we're not toxic for not liking a movie, okay? Not liking a movie, it's just get, it's the same thing with Captain Marvel. If you don't like Captain Marvel, it means you're toxic, okay? Same thing with Tony Dark Fate, okay? You know, And probably will be the same thing with Birds of Prey. If that movie isn't really woke or if it's woke, we don't know if it will be. That's the thing we can't really tell because it's conflicting opinions on that movie about wokeness in that movie. But does appear attributes the ugliest odors to a few bad apples, failing to ride a fan base against degenerizing based off that on social media. A few unhealthy people can cast a big shadow. So you're attacking Star Wars fans again, making up excuses because either Star Wars is just a dying franchise, okay? Star Wars is a dying franchise, so of course they're gonna make up excuses. They're gonna make up harassment stories, like quote unquote Calvin Trad was harassed off of social media according to the media, even though there's no absolute proof at all that she was or not. Even if Disney literally did try to did it with her, even though it's like people just don't understand that Twitter is just a terrible place, and completely understandable that Twitter is a bad place. And, there was no harassment. There was probably like one or two people. Okay, and of course, if you're on the internet, you're expected to be, and it's just like Google and Twitter and the mainstream media doesn't understand that criticism is not harassment. Okay, these guys just don't understand that criticism is not harassment. So the media is already making up a bunch of excuses for Star Wars. But Star Wars is one of the biggest franchises in the world. Okay, highest grossing media franchises of all time. Okay, biggest series of all time, probably. Okay, highest grossing media franchise. Dragon Ball is in the top 15. You'll be surprised, 25 most successful media franchises. They'll probably pull up the list from Wikipedia as well. Pokemon, Hello Kitty, Winnie the Pooh, Mickey Mouse, and Star Wars. You can see Dragon Ball is in the list. You can see here Transformers, Peanuts, Yu-Gi-Oh! So James Bond with One Piece, Toy Story, Cows, Fist of the North Star, Bobby. Dragon Ball is actually bigger than Toy Story. I didn't realize that until now. Dragon Ball is actually bigger. Toy Story, Batman, Gundam, Spider-Man, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Really, Marvel could be number one because Marvel includes Spider-Man as a franchise. Spider-Man it could be included in Marvel comics label in general. Okay, which Marvel Cinematic Universe is not in the top 10. It'll probably be in the top 10 by the end of next year. And probably Marvel as a whole would be in the top 10. Marvel as a brand, same thing with DC as a whole brand. Same thing with Jump Comics is in the top 10. Mario is in the top 10. Star Wars. You're telling me you're making up excuses for Star Wars, the fifth biggest media franchise. And the fifth biggest, franchise that is not just sold by toys like Hello Kitty and Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh. What's most reason of the media of the success of these franchises is merchandise. Okay, Mario is video games, Dragon Ball is manga. Okay, you know, you know, and people have been telling me that Dragon Ball is just not popular. That no one likes Dragon Ball, but it's higher than Barbie. Okay, it's higher than Toy Story. The guy, someone told me that Dragon Ball, that Toy Story is bigger than Dragon Ball, but I just saw him this thought that it's actually bigger than Toy Story. It's actually bigger than James Bond as well. It's bigger than Transformers. It's bigger than Peanuts or stuff that, Charlie Brown comics, where Charlie Brown is from, and all that stuff. Dragon Ball, which has been around for less longer than Barbie, than Peanuts, than Transform, and these and James Bond, which has been around for the longer time than Dragon Ball. Again, Dragon Ball is good. Dragon Ball Super's good comeback and all that stuff. And won't be surprised if Dragon Ball probably won't overtake Batman. It's never gonna overtake Batman because Batman's just that popular. You know, People say that Goku's not as recognizable as these other characters, but Goku beat Toy Story. Goku beat James Bond. Okay, and money. Okay, yeah. So the more we make up excuses that Star Wars should be big, it is the fifth highest media franchise in all of history. Okay, the fifth highest media franchise, and you're telling me that they're always gonna make excuses that Disney does not need Star Wars. The first highest franchise of all time, being our Disney Princesses, which is at number 7, and Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is at number 5. Okay, number 5. Which and Marvel Comics is probably even higher than Disney Princesses as well. If you include Spider-Man, it's probably in the top 5. If you include Spider-Man and this Marvel Comics in general, and this Marvel sub-series, probably higher than Pokemon as well. But you're gonna tell me that the fifth, Star Wars is just a dying franchise. Okay, a franchise that is the fifth highest grossing franchise shouldn't be underperforming at all. Okay, shouldn't be underperforming. But it makes something that's bad that is related to the franchise. Pokemon's gonna be suffering the same fate as Star Wars, but you're gonna lose people. Less people are gonna watch your movie. It's just that simple. And that's basically it. Goodbye.